Let's talk the club. One more thing, like, subscribe, and share. Come on, let's talk the club. Woo!
Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Cutler here on the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast, the Let's Talk to Cutler virtual book club, the Let's Talk to Cutler YouTube platform, the Let's Talk to Cutler channel, the Let's Talk to Cutler moment when we get to spend about 1,800 seconds together on these Tuesdays. And I'm delighted that you all are here with me. I am so excited about our conversation this evening because it's something that's really near and dear to my heart. It is the 23rd of April already. The 23rd of April already, you all, and the month is flying by. I hope you all are doing well. I hope everything is going wonderfully for you. I hope that you are having uplifting and optimistic days, and I hope that you are having uplifting and optimistic people in your lives. Let me just tell people who are stopping by for the very first time, if you have never stopped by, if you've never had a conversation on this platform, then you, I hope, are in for a treat, because what is this guy talking about? Well, I come here on these Tuesdays to just try to offer something that is inspirational, something that is motivational, something that is intended to challenge us to show up our best selves, even in the worst of situations, to show up our best selves, even in the worst of situations. One more time, to show up our best selves, even in the worst of situations, because life sometimes presents so many worst situations, scenarios, and worst situations, opportunities. And I want us to have these conversations where we can really just show up second. It'll be second nature for us to just show up where our character is not questioned, where our integrity is not compromised, but we just do things because that's just how we do them. And this evening, I want to talk about dreaming bigger. I want to talk about those of us who are sometimes challenged in the area and the arena of dreams. Sometimes I think we just don't dream big enough, but I'll talk about that in just a moment. I want to invite those who are stopping by again for the first time to do me a favor. Come on and make sure that you invite somebody. If it's your first time, why don't you subscribe? Go ahead and subscribe. And once you subscribe, click on the notification that lets you know whenever I've gone live, whenever I've uploaded new content, that sort of thing. And then tell somebody else, come on and let's talk to Cutler. This guy is up here. He's talking about real situations, real life, real people, real circumstances, real scenarios. It's just a real conversation. I want to jump into the conversation in a moment, I promise. I see those of you coming on to the chat rooms, and I'll shout out the LTTC VIPs in just a moment. I promise I'll shout you all out. But I see some of you logging in. Come on over to the chat, say hi, say good evening, talk to somebody, and bring your favorite beverage. If you're bringing snacks, make sure that you bring enough for everybody. And let's just move right on into the conversation. I want to talk about dreaming bigger. As most of you know, as some of you know, as many of you know, my grandmother passed. It's been over a month now. When I tell you, when you're dealing with tragedies and things like that, time just really, really, really flies. But I want to talk about something that struck a responsive chord. I had the painful honor, and it was an honor of eulogizing my grandmother. And I do remember, as I eulogized her, I talked for just a moment about the fact that she scrubbed floors so that I didn't have to. Now I could take that and just go on somewhere with that. I just, just to share the snippet. But as I was eulogizing her and really paying homage to my grandmother, I don't remember everything that I said. Oh, thank you, my friend Kimberly. I don't remember everything that I said, but I do specifically remember saying that she scrubbed floors so that I didn't have to. And I remember saying that she cleaned houses, and there were times when I would go to the houses and she would say, I want you to have a house like the kind that I'm cleaning. I just remember all of those sorts of things. And some of you don't know that I grew up in a very rural area in the South, and it was a dirt road. I grew up along a dirt road, but there's something that little boy who grew up in the rural South along that dirt road and would walk bare feet along that dirt road in the summers, there's something that he was allowed to do. He was allowed to dream. he was allowed to dream, and no one really ever no one really ever snuffed my dreams out, and I'm thankful for that. I had the ability and I had the license to just dream because I didn't have to tell everybody your dreams. And may I say to you, don't tell everybody your dreams, because there are people who, there's some dream killers, some dream snatchers, there's some dream delayers, there's some dream so make sure that you don't tell everybody your dreams. You can't always trust everybody with your dreams. But as a kid, I was able to dream, because dreaming allowed me to sometimes escape the reality where I was. But even as I started to dream and I saw some of those dreams become true, and some of those dreams become realities, and some of those dreams turn into the manifestation of what I had dreamed or dreamt about, I learned to dream bigger. I learned to dream bigger, and learning to dream bigger really started with conversations from with my grandmother, watching my grandmother's life. It started with conversations from even watching my mother's life. And so I want to encourage you all, as I'm going through this conversation, to dream bigger. Color, what does that have to do with anything? What it has to do with what it has to do with is the fact that what we're looking for inspiration. I'm trying to offer inspiration. I'm trying to offer motivation, but I'm also trying to challenge us to be the best version of ourselves that we can, and sometimes to become the very best version that you can. It means you have to get out of the mold of where you are at the time. And so I want to challenge us this evening to try and get out of the mold of where we are and dream bigger. You are never too old. It's never too late in your life for you to dream bigger. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how do we dream bigger, and why do we sometimes not dream bigger? You know, are you the are you the kind of person who says, hey, I just don't have big dreams? I just can't force myself to get beyond reality. Are you that kind of person? Are you the kind of person who says, hey, I don't dream big, Cutler, because it's not always the most comfortable thing, because my dreams just they might not come true. Well, the same way they might not come true, they might come true. So dream bigger. I don't dream big, Cutler, because if it doesn't become true, then it's a scary place to live in this space of your failures all the time. Well, listen, I want to make sure that I do my best to encourage you to dream big and to dream bigger. One of my favorite passages, one of my favorite passages talks about now unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that I could ever ask, think, or even imagine. That says to me that I have the wherewithal, I have the ability to dream, because there's always something larger and bigger than my dreams. And not only is there something larger and bigger than my dreams, but there is someone who has the wherewithal and the capacity to manifest the very things that I dream of. So why don't we dream big? Why don't we dream big? There's so many of us, my friends, who dream small, and we dream far too small, because the thought is that if we set our goals low, we will be more likely to achieve them, and we will be happy when we exceed them. Well, what's wrong with that, Cutler? The problem with this kind of thinking is that you are not allowing yourself to reach your true potential. You're limiting yourself as if you're going to be excited when you go beyond what you know your limit is already far beyond. That's why some of us don't dream big. Oh, I said I would acknowledge the LTDC VIPs, those of you who I see first in the chat this evening, and go and tell someone else, come on, let's talk together. But I do see Hattie Boone and Annie Cutler and Kimberly Montoya. It's so good to see all of you all. But let's talk about why we don't dream bigger. So it's not just the fact that we're setting our goals low. Sometimes we don't dream bigger, and I challenge us. This is a challenge conversation this evening. I challenge us because some of us don't dream bigger because we don't have a clear vision of what our dream is. We just don't know what our dream is. I want to ask you, do you know what your dream really is? Sure, most people want to be successful. Most people want to be rich. Most people want to retire comfortably. Most people want to do all of that stuff. But what does it mean to be successful? What is it that you want? I want to be a writer. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. So you say that you want a new career. Doing what? We've got to be so very clear about our dreams. It doesn't matter what it is. I challenge us to be so very clear about our dreams. Be specific about what you want to accomplish. And again, there is no cap on your ability to dream bigger. Sometimes people say, oh, listen, I've lived the majority of my life. Well, so have I. But that does not stop me from dreaming. I was just riding along today in this beautiful community and just looking at the plush lawns and the beautiful homes and the people who were walking through. And I thought, you know what? I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for what I have and where I live and all of those sorts of things. And I thought about the fact that I only have what I have, one, because of God, but then secondly, because I had a dream. You have to have a clear dream about what you want. And then a lot of times we don't dream bigger because we really don't know our own limits. Some of us, and I said it earlier, some of us, sometimes we aim way too low in our dreams. And that is because we underestimate our abilities. But my gift to us this evening is a basket of mirrors for each of us so that we can look at ourselves straight in the face and see the real us and know that our abilities are far beyond what we sometimes give ourselves credit for. The truth is, you will never know your limits until you test them. Most of us are stronger than we think. Most of us can persevere longer than we think. Most of us can endure and carry more than we think. I'm telling you, you don't always know your limits because sometimes we are too afraid to test our limits. But do not refrain from dreaming big simply because you don't know your limits or because you don't have a clear understanding of what your dream is. And sometimes we don't dream big because we don't have discipline. But I challenge us to recalibrate ourselves, to rewire ourselves. Don't be the person who does not have discipline. Too many people would just jump from one thought to another. Just like we're skipping, when I was young, one of the games was hopscotch, and people just used to, just jumping on one foot from one number to another. And sometimes that's what we do in life. We just jump from one thing to another. Have you ever met people like that? Or maybe has that been your experience that sometimes you would jump from one thing to another? One day, I remember if you have a conversation with young people and you can ask them today, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? And today they will tell you one thing, and sometimes tomorrow they will tell you the next. And sometimes the next day they will tell you something yet different. One thing today, something else tomorrow, and something different the very next day. One day we dream of owning our own business. The next day we want to be an actor. The next day you want to be a writer. The next day you want to be a fireman. The next day you want to be a lawyer. But there are some people who don't have discipline. And unfortunately, you all, they have settled into a job or into a career because they don't have the discipline to follow through on any one given thing. You all know one of my favorite words is resolute. Choose your dream, be clear about your dream, and then be resolute in your pursuit of your dreams. I'm reminded of the passage about pursuing. Shall I pursue? And I'm telling you, pursue your dreams. And know that you have someone on your side who can finish that clause that says, and surely you shall recover all. Pursue your dreams. Go after them. Be resolute. Be clear about what you want. And sometimes we don't dream big because we say, well, I kind of lack the expertise. I lack the skills. People will sometimes let their dreams slip, let their dreams fall by the wayside, let their dreams just go into another pile of what they call rubbish because they simply say, I don't know how to do that. Many of us did not know how to do what we are now doing today. I almost felt like the preacher who wanted to say, can I get an amen in the chat? But really, how many of us, you all, can really attest to the fact that we are doing things today that years ago we didn't know how to do? I want to encourage people. I want to encourage everybody who catches this broadcast this evening to dream bigger and do not be locked into where you are because you think that you cannot go beyond where you are. I'm doing things today that I never knew that I could do. Years ago, there were things that I could not do, but I'm doing them today. Sometimes we don't dream because we say, Cutler, I lack the expertise. I lack the skills. I'm telling you, yes, fear is a big thing. I can't fly by the seat of my pants at my age. I don't know what I want anymore. Peace has barely been found at age 53. Kimberly, yes, I understand. And one of the things, one of the things that I've learned in life and I've taken to help catapult me somewhere else is that, you know what? I got where I am today because I dared to dream. And as rocky as it seemed, I landed. As rocky and rough as the road may have been, I landed. And I landed with stability. I landed and I didn't fall. Yeah, there were times when I failed. There were times when I fumbled. There were times when all of that happened. But at some point in our lives, when you get to the point and you realize I landed and I stood. I landed and I stood because I was able to withstand. And that you're right. That is the reason why some of us don't dream big, because of fear. We see that there are obstacles in our way. There are always going to be things in the way of your dreams. May I say that again? There are always going to be things in the way of your dreams. Otherwise, they would be called dreams. Sometimes they are small things, and I get it. Sometimes they are things like a brick wall. But may I offer you this tenacity and this fortitude. Don't let the wall stop you. Either climb over it, go around it, or knock it down. Obstacles are there to make you prove how badly you want your dreams. That's why, again, they're called dreams, you all. And I get it. Thank you, Kimberly, for sharing that. There are sometimes some of us don't dream because we are simply scared of failure. Sometimes we are scared of failure. And when you are afraid of being unsuccessful, many times you set your sights low. And I am a practical person. I'm a person who's very pragmatic. I get it. If I pursue that dream, I might fail. But then I fall back on the adage that says nothing beats a failure but a try. I fall back to the saying that I learned as a child, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. I learned the story of the little train that said, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, until I think became an I know. I fall back on the story where the train said, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, until the I think I can turned into and I am doing it now. It's easier to stay where I am. But I want to ask you this. When was the last time you allowed yourself to fail? We learn more. I've read it and I've said this before. We learn more from our failures than we do from our successes. How's that for thought? We learn more from our failures than we do our successes. So keep on trying. So then, Cutler, how do I dream bigger? How do I dream bigger? One of the things is that you have to let your mind soar. You have to let your mind go exceedingly abundantly beyond where you are. Growing up, I was the kid in the South along the dirt road, and there was water at the body of water at the end of the dirt road. And we would go fishing and go crabbing. And that was my life. I worked in tobacco fields during the summer. Yes, that was the story of my life. But that kid one day had a dream that I'll go to school, I'll go to a university, and I'll become somebody. Not knowing that the wherewithal to become somebody was inside of me at the time. You hear what? So you hear that kind of thinking, but I knew that I would go beyond where I was at the time. And that kid has traveled the world. And that kid earned a doctorate in law. And that kid went on to teach for 15 years at the same university where he got his bachelor's degree. That kid, that's what I'm saying, you all. We have to learn how to nurture dreams within us, and we have to give other young people the license and the ability and the right to dream, to let them be outlandish. That's what a dream is. Go on and be outlandish. Think of things that you never do and imagine doing them. Why, Cutler? Because that will prime your pump. That would get you motivated. That would get you inspired. That would get your adrenaline going. And if you think it's too late for you, then help somebody else do what you think is too late for you. So go on, be outlandish. Think outside of the box. Think beyond. Think abundantly. Think exceedingly. Think far beyond. And then learn how to dream. What would you do if you had all the money and all of the time in the world and all of the resources? Brainstorm and think about that. That's what dreaming is about. Because it helps you get beyond those self-imposed barriers and those self-imposed limits that we sometimes set. Because a lot of us sometimes buy into the notion that, well, I've got to have this amount of money. I need to be rich to do this, and I need to have money to do this, and in order to achieve all this. No. Read the biography. I mean, if I could turn and grab books off the shelf that are behind me, like the books of Mr. Joe Dudley, Madam C.J. Walker. Read the biographies of the rich and famous, and then you'll see that they did not start out rich and famous all the time. So learn how to dream. Take some of the current goals that you have and grow them, expand them. And here is a good one. You say, I don't know how to dream. I challenge you. Work hard for our dreams. Sometimes we have to choose a different path. We do. And you don't just have to have one dream. You can have dreams, plural. You want to know what it feels like to dream? You want to revisit what it feels like to dream? Go back into the mind, go back into your memory. Go back and have a conversation with the 5, 6, 7, and 8-year-old you. And look at that individual. I know in terms of this 5, 6, 7, and 8-year-old me, no matter what I was encountering or dealing with in life at the time, I remember how that kid could dream. I remember how that kid could hope. I remember how that kid could wish for something that was not at the time. Endless optimism, endless hope, endless dreams. Endless one day I want to be, one day I want to do, one day I want to become, one day I hope I will, one day I believe I will, one day I know I will. That's what was inside of this 5, 6, 7, and 8-year-old boy. It didn't matter what was going on. You're right, Paula and Marissa. So in my mind, there was a plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. I had so many plans. And that's how you dream. Ask your 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old self, how did you do that? What is it that you did again? And then change your words. I keep saying it, I've got to get back to it. We used to engage ourselves on word guard where we dared to speak negativity over our lives and over the lives of people who are connected to us any kind of way in our village, in our community, in our support community, and it's a part of our support. We dared to speak negativity, but we would speak positivity and we would speak uplifting and encouraging and optimistic words. You sometimes have to change your words because your words are powerful. Because that has been my experience, that the words I use have a profound impact on my attitude, my feelings, my perspective, my direction, my drive. The words that I use have an impact on all of that. And not only that, you all, when it comes to Cutler, how do I dream bigger? Not only be outlandish and think outside of the box, not only just dream and dream and dream and keep on dreaming, and not only just take a current goal and grow and expand it, not only just ask your 5, 6, 7, and 8-year-old version, not only that, not only changing your words, but also believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You have got to believe in yourself and be thankful that there are sometimes people in your life who believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. And that is why I believe in community. That is why I believe in village. That is why I believe in a support system. That is why I believe in filtering out the people who don't need to be in your life and filtering in the people who need to be in your life so that you can believe in yourself. The same way that you believe in others, learn to believe in yourself. And be thankful that there are people who believe in you when you don't believe in yourself, because what do? They jumpstart your ability to believe again. How many of us have ever had the privilege and the honor of jumpstarting somebody's ability to believe all over again? We go through hurdles, we go through trials, we go through situations, we go through scenarios, we go through potholes, we go through pitfalls in life. But let's be thankful that there was someone who jump-started our ability to believe again. Believe in yourself and learn how to dream. I'm thankful that dreams really do come true. Be intentional about dreaming, but keep dreaming. Be deliberate about dreaming, but keep dreaming. Be daring when you dream, but keep dreaming. Be practical, but keep dreaming. Learn to balance the fear, the possibility of failure, but keep dreaming. Think about what you would say to a 2, 3, or 4, 5-year-old who came to you with a dream. Would you kill that baby's dream? You have the same creativity. You have the same ability to create a whole new world, a whole set of a new reality. It's never too late to dream. My 97-year-old grandmother, God rest her soul, I remember her saying to me one day, "You're never too old to learn." And she went back to school and she became a certified nursing assistant. And that reminded me, not only are you never too old to learn, you're never too old to dream. Thank you all for allowing me to share this space wherever you've allowed me to come into. I thank you this evening. This conversation really comes from the bottom and the depth of my heart, because I realize that some of us are not dreaming. We're not dreaming again. We're not dreaming big enough. Do me a favor, if you don't mind, and share this conversation with someone who is a part of your village, who's a part of your life, who might have become stagnant, might have become complacent, might have just become content, and challenge them to dream again. And the dream does not necessarily have to be about things, but the dream could be about their joy, about their peace, about their happiness, about their purpose, about their value. Challenge somebody else to dream again, and then be thankful for the people who challenge us to dream again. Let's keep building community. Let's keep maintaining connectivity. Let's keep our heads up. Let's keep our hopes up. Know that from my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. I thank you. And until we see each other the next time, tell somebody, come on and let's talk to Cutler. Have a good night, all.